Team RWBY returned to normal size. RWBY comes across a blacksmith, and the rusted knight reveals himself. That and more on today's episode of BrobusCast RWBY Edition. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of BrobusCast. I'm your host, Brobuscus. With me today is Aidan.
This was an episode. Very big revelations. I'm excited to talk about this one.
And we have Mate.
We finally made it. We're at the halfway point.
Whoa,
Yeah.
We're halfway there.
I plan on making that joke in my Mate Watches video.
Let's go.
It's kind of funny that we've been waiting for 2 years for this volume to come out, and now we're already at the halfway point. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gone by super quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. And then after this, we've got a freaking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part 1 of a movie, I might add.
RWBY fans be eating good.
Yeah.
Dude, we ate good last year as well. Like Ice
That is
Queendom, Arrowfell.
Yeah, true. So yeah, we're here today to talk about Volume 9, Chapter 5, The Parfait Predicament. It actually has a title this time, thank God.
Speaking of
Yay.
titles, the anagram theory.
Yeah, you
My
go
time
ahead
has
with that.
come. Okay, so there is another P alliteration, which is a repeat from an earlier alliteration from episode 1. So
Yes.
far, the alliteration is a P-A-R-C. Oh, wait. Damn it. Okay, never mind. I retract my statement.
The anagram
Alright.
theory. The anagram theory is dead, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, because it doesn't... I typed
Wait.
it in to double check it, but it doesn't
Wait,
work anymore.
I thought an anagram was like...
Well, not the anagram, sorry, the alliteration theory is what I meant to say.
There we go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, an
I'm-
anagram is like a sentence that
Jumbling
doesn't
up
make
the-
sense,
Yeah.
but you jumble it up and then you get a hidden message.
I said it wrong. So I'll take the L there. I was one letter off from having a very good point and saying something that could have been very relevant to this volume. I was one letter off. I just needed an A before the upper P.
And I just would like everyone to know that I learned what an anagram is from The Simpsons, not school.
Honestly,
Cool.
same. I learned a lot of things from TV that I probably should have learned in school.
Yeah, probably, but TV's
Yeah.
more entertaining.
That is true.
That's very true. Okay, so anything you guys want to say before we get started? Oh, by the way, I actually have something. If you notice that my voice is a little off, that's because I've been recording basically all day. So if I sound tired, I'm not. I just am. I just don't have much of a voice anymore.
Which is understandable considering the length of what you recorded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's my thing. Do any of you have anything you want to add?
I kind of want to plug the my fanfic again, B Family.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, these two read it and they said they liked it.
Indeed.
So
Would
hey.
be again.
So hey, you like Blake and Yang? I wrote a fanfic of them. If you're interested, go read it.
Also, I can have some self-promotion. By the time that this is out, my first video on my new channel should hopefully be out. Fingers crossed.
Woo.
We shall see.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this week goes. I have another university assignment to get finished off, so depending on how good my group is for the group assignment, we're getting their stuff done. Will depend on how quick the video comes out.
Yeah. Alright, let's jump right in. So we open up and RWBY is running away for dear life. I mean, you know, that's a fair reaction, I guess, after seeing someone sprout a hole underneath them and fall right in. You know, that would kind of freak me out too.
Well, that and all the, like, drug-induced hallucinations.
Yeah, that too. So anyways, Curious comes along and is like, oh, I'm so glad that the four of you are still the four of you. It's like, dude, just stop. I like you, but stop. Weiss even says later, it's like, you're the reason we were there. You're the reason we were in that situation in the first place, so thanks for that. Thanks for nothing.
I mean, you're the one that said I had the attention span of goldfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this cat's just like, oh yeah, Alex had a similar reaction.
Yeah. It's like, but it's not what you think. It's not what you think. Okay, no, actually, it's exactly what you think. But maybe not exactly. You know, this cat is full of riddles. I don't know if I like it.
This cat would drive my patience very thin if I was talking to it.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad I'm not in this position.
Yeah, same.
I'd be so mad at this freaking cat.
I'm a lot more suspicious of this cat after what they've been saying in this episode, especially.
Yeah.
Oh, just wait until near the end.
True. So yeah, they are walking across, and there's a market. Sure, we'll go with that.
In the middle of a lake.
Yeah. Curious jumps on a lily pad and is about to float away, and then RWBY jumps on the lily pad, and it's revealed to me that is the strongest lily pad I have ever seen in my life.
Welcome to fiction logic.
I know.
I mean, you've played video games where you can walk on lily pads.
That is true.
True, but they still like have. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about Crash Bandicoot. It's like, it's like, yeah, I could jump on them, but they still like.
Shake.
They still shake. They still bend in on themselves, and then some of them still sink.
Now, to be fair, if that did happen, RWBY could probably just like zoom over there.
I mean,
if
yeah,
really wanted to.
I mean, yeah, you're probably right.
Or swim.
That true. That too.
Yeah. This
I could just be
freaking-
like, look, Weiss, Blake, Yang, Lissel, you guys rent a lily pad, I'll swim it.
Yeah. I need to comment on the facial expressions that Curious makes. It's like as the camera cuts over to him, all we see is this like smug look on his face. I'm like, like this freaking guy.
How fitting for a role with voiced by Robbie Damon.
Indeed.
I mean that
And how
is
fitting
also
for a cat as well.
That is also very true.
Also, I don't think we brought this up, but I really like the Curious's model and the fact that there's like no shading on it at all.
Yeah, it's neat.
Really makes them stand out and pop a lot more in these environments.
Yeah. There's also like barely any outlines on him too, which is kind of like a big thing for RWBY.
Yeah.
And they made a big deal about that in one of their videos, basically. It's like I almost called it a recap video, but it's not.
RWBY Roundtable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They did a really good job with the cat's design.
Yeah. So
And
basically,
they ask what happened to Herb, which
you know,
thank you. I've been very curious all week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've been
it's a
waiting
fair
for this for a while.
See, what I thought happened was he was going somewhere like in a basement or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we thought because we didn't want to
and
think
making
Herb just died.
It's like
out of nowhere. But
I mean, Blake does bring that up.
yeah, it's like basically Herb was like he wasn't acting right or something, and like he wasn't fulfilling his role or whatever. So Curious was like, "I'll give you some of my heart," because that makes sense. Sure.
yeah. So when the cat, I guess, gives someone their heart, they have the ability to, essentially, from how Curious describes it, reincarnate either into like a different person or into.
Okay, the way it's described is that whenever someone in the Ever After wears out, breaks, or stops fulfilling their role, they pretty much go back to the Ever After and are remade.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that happened to the Prince.
Well,
no, we skimmed over that. No, did we? No, this comes up
I don't know
later.
if we've gotten to that. Okay, that comes later.
I mean, when Curious gave the Prince a bit of his heart.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, that didn't happen to the Prince yet.
Yeah. So it was like, shoot, what was I about to bring up?
It's basically reincarnation.
Yeah, this whole thing, it's basically like, there's this rumor going, there's like a theory going around, it's a theory going around that like, you know, we've established that this place is a fairy tale, but like, again, it's one of those things where it's like, how literally do we take that? And apparently we take that completely literally. Like this is basically living out a story. It's basically like everyone around them are characters, not like living beings, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, because they have a certain purpose, and either when they don't want to continue fulfilling that purpose, they get remade and lose their memories to want to fulfill that purpose again, or they find a new purpose and they're changed slightly and they lose all of their memories.
Yeah, everyone except for this cat, which raises a lot of questions.
Yeah.
It's like
Like,
is this?
I'm starting to think the cat is just God.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm pretty sure this cat is just God.
I mean, going by the fairy tale book, like there are multiple gods, not just the two brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
It's like,
this is something I kind of want to bring up, right? So, I also saw another YouTuber named You All Right talk about this as well. But so you know how in the intro there's a picture of a girl, assumedly Alex, and then there's another picture of a silhouette wearing glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I called attention to that in the previous episode.
Which you did call attention to in the previous episode. What if that person is also Alex? So that was Alex originally, but then because she couldn't get home, he got, like, reincarnated or remade in order to fulfill that purpose of getting home. And that's how she was changed and, quote-unquote, learned her lesson.
That's possible.
It's possible, but, well...
Because remember, the cat said Alex couldn't see, like, past her nose, which is expression sometimes used for people that, you know, can't see past kind of literally, kind of needing glasses, which is kind of a disadvantage when you're traveling a foreign world with no combat experience, because assumedly Alex didn't have that, unlike Team RWBY. So perhaps she was struggling and couldn't get back home, so she couldn't fulfill her purpose, so to say, as the protagonist of the story. So she got remade by the cat, losing her memories and becoming different enough to fulfill the purpose, which would also explain why some details in the story are left out and Team RWBY is discovering new stuff.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up too.
Yeah. I get that, but there is something that is making me question even that.
What would that be?
Like, in the intro, when we see those two blue comets fall, well, We assume one of them's Alex, but who's the other one?
Plot
I've
twist.
heard
The other one's curious, and that's how he becomes
Dun,
God.
dun, dun. I heard
don't know.
someone mention that it's like an Ozpin reincarnation, because apparently there was a
Oz says
boy
he was there for
mentioned.
the. Oz said he was there for that one.
He said that he's lived through his fair share of fairy tales. So, and apparently I don't know if this was in the actual, like, fairy tale book that was published or something, but I've heard people bring up there's apparently a boy mentioned in the story with Alex. So it's possible that boy was one of the Ozpin reincarnations.
I would just
And
say, in the fairy tale book, the girl who fell through the world isn't one of the fairy tales.
Oh, it isn't? Okay. It's
No,
just
that's
that
not in the book. I've checked.
Okay.
Because I've heard people talk, like, the YouTuber I was talking about talked about there's apparently a boy, like a mysterious boy or something mentioned in the girl who fell through the world fairy tale. So that could be the second comet, and then that comet could be one of the previous Ozpin reincarnations. Because one of the only ways that we've seen to get to this world is using the relics. And who knew the location of and could access the relics?
Husband. But
Yes.
there's something else that comes up that makes me question there might be another way in here.
What's that?
There's another thing coming up that makes
Okay.
me question, like, is that the only way to get here?
Yeah, there could be other ways. I thought that theory was interesting, so I kind of wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, that's interesting. Definitely keep an eye on that. But yeah, Ruby then says, like, when Herb comes back, when he resurfaces, basically, will he remember anything? And Curious is like, no. Why do you ask? What would be the point, basically? I'm like, oh, well, great. So, I mean, that's basically the Ever After's version of death. Because Curious also says, like, yeah, the people here don't die, per se.
Well, except for one creature, but
But he doesn't
let's not
clarify
talk
who.
about that now.
I'm sure that won't be relevant.
No, definitely not.
Nah.
$5 is probably the Jabberwocker. But anyways. Yeah, I'm trying to get caught up.
Yeah. So then we get to the bit where they start talking about the Red King when they enter the marketplace.
Yeah, so as it turns out, when we said last time, it's like when Herb was like, this is how a king becomes a prince, and they just kind of brushed it aside, and we were just sitting here like, wait, that's important, go back. Here we go, here's our explanation. Yeah, they are the same person, kind of. Basically, I get, like, the king kind of lost his purpose, so he reincarnated as a prince, basically.
Who has to win that game at all costs after losing to Alex.
Whoops.
Yeah. In fact, I remember seeing a theory that, well, because they mentioned earlier that Alex Lydon cheated her way through most of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she cheated during the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could also be the reason why the prince is now willing to cheat, because winning by any costs. Because he got cheated as well.
Funny enough, if he didn't do the thing he did, he probably would have won.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Also, this kind of brings up an interesting question, because does this mean that when you reincarnate, or like you fail to fulfill your purpose, when you come back, you're kind of demoted in your
Guess?
scale? Because he went from a king to a prince. So is it like this? Is reincarnating through failing some kind of like punishment, perhaps? Because it kind of makes you a worse person and also means you have less status?
Possibly.
So that's kind of the vibe that it's giving off at the moment.
Yeah. And basically, like, Blake was like,
Every time this happened, the cat's sad, like, oh, you failed at your purpose.
Yeah. Again, this cat's God.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's like Blake was like, no, the prince wasn't really that nice either. But Curious is like, yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't matter. His whole purpose was win the game, no matter what. And I'm just sitting here like, oops. Okay. She also mentions like, it's like Alex didn't leave that part about borderline reincarnation in the book. And Chris,
and then we get another meta thing.
yeah, and Chris like, oh, of course not. Exposition is boring, you see. I'm just like,
Doesn't that mean all our videos are boring?
Probably.
Shit. Didn't think about it that way.
Well, our channels are over. It was a fun ride,
RIP.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we did our
Rip.
best. Too much exposition.
oof. And then yeah, basically Blake comments like, I wonder what else she left out. It's like
Probably a lot
well,
of stuff.
Probably a lot of stuff. It's like, well,
Because, look, if Alex Lighten cheated away through most of the book, that's just what she wrote.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably more disturbing stuff that she left out.
Yeah. It's like,
And also,
well, I
Alex
guess
might have wanted to paint herself as, I guess, as a better person than she actually was, perhaps. Even though I know it's like it mentions she lied, cheated, and steal, but she she might have left some out, like worse stuff out
yeah.
as
Oh,
well.
like, if there was someone with her in the Ever After, like those two comets,
Yeah.
what if only one could get back?
Oh.
Or someone maybe needed to be sacrificed. Because if we think about it, in the trailer we hear you need to shed Ruby Rose.
Oh, you're right.
So maybe it's like someone needs to be sacrificed in order to get back.
Oh, well, that has some terrible implications that I will get to later.
I'm only just now thinking about that.
Yep. So yeah, I guess this whole follow the path of the book probably isn't the greatest idea anymore.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
No,
it is also
there is
still
that
the
shot
only
in the
path we
opening.
have. So
There's also that shot in the opening of the book getting blood.
true.
So, who knows? Maybe Team RWBY will find their own way.
Hopefully. Because from all we've found out so far, it didn't turn out too great for Alex.
No.
Watch them sacrifice Curious.
Well, Curious probably isn't a worthwhile sacrifice, but anyway.
Wait.
Ruby kills God to go home.
Oh no, I just had an awful thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you and I might be on a
Oh.
similar
No,
wavelength.
I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking, what if that's Little's purpose?
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that for a second too. I don't want that to be the case.
There's actually an interesting. I don't know if it'll come up as relevant in this episode, but there's an interesting fan theory I saw on Little. But
Oh, I think I know the one you mean.
yeah, you probably do. I'm like, I don't know if I buy it, but it's definitely interesting. I'm definitely gonna keep that in mind.
Since we talked about the whole reincarnation thing, should we just bring that up?
Yeah, basically the fan theory is that Little is like a reincarnation of Penny. That's
because her body did fall into the Ever After.
yeah.
So maybe she's been reincarnated as a talking mouse and lost all her memories.
Potentially.
It would explain a lot. Little does seem to have a lot of similar. The more I think about it, I'm like, huh. Little does seem to have a lot of similar mannerisms to Penny.
Yeah. Not only that as well, they're kind of similar in the sense that like Penny was trying to figure out who she was
Yeah.
as well. Little is kind of the same. They're trying to figure out who they are and what their purpose is.
Yeah.
Also, Little kind of instinctively went for the
Oh,
the
yeah.
doll,
Yeah.
which is Penny's sword, which she created through magic that's connected to the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a pretty solid theory, I won't lie.
I kind of don't want it to be the case.
No,
like,
I don't
personally
either.
speaking.
Part of me doesn't want it to be
Not
the case
because I think
either.
it's bad,
but-
not because I think it's bad, but just if that is the case, and like Little does have to like sacrifice themselves or something for Team RWBY to get back, that'll be Penny dying 3 times,
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
which I don't want. I don't want Penny to suffer anymore. Just let her rest in peace.
Yeah. I mean, I also do. I do like it in this sense because it's like it's Penny being brought back to life, kind of. It's like it's not like fully bringing her back, but like this. I think this is the best way to like resurrect people. I guess.
Like if you were gonna resurrect them, I think this is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I still like my idea of they could come back through, like, Blake's evolved semblance in a way.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's-
well, also, what about Neo's semblance?
Oh man, yeah. But
Okay,
we'll-
okay.
We'll
That,
jump to that.
like... Okay, if it's Blake, that actually has a nice element of just, like, emphasizing that she's close with them. Neo, it's just like, how
And mess
can
with
I...
people.
How can I mentally mess with this person
Yeah.
and traumatize them further?
So anyways, curious.
There's a
let's off
rooster
all
with
the-
teeth.
There is a rooster with teeth. Yes, you are correct. It is very goofy looking. But also, obviously, obvious reference is obvious. Anywho,
Can't wait for there to be a crunchy roll.
that's good. Anyway, so Curious lists off all the ingredients that they need, and Ruby's like, I'm not gonna remember that, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't either. That's why I'm not listing them off for this.
But it's
Also
also
be-
weird, like some of the stuff that the cat mentioned as well, like leprechaun nose hair.
Yeah,
That's
the one that.
the ingredient that Ruby has to get.
Yeah.
But it's weird because that just implies there's leprechauns running around here as well.
Yeah. And as you can imagine, finding nose hair doesn't exactly sound like something they're super interested in. I wonder why.
Yeah, so Ruby's gonna get that while the Curious Cat's like, I can get the rest.
And then he immediately gets distracted because, you know, he's a cat. Get it? Then Team Ruby are basically like, can I go with the cat?
Okay, I have a couple details to just bring up about this bit.
Yeah, first off, obligatory episode B moment. So there you go, mate.
Which, no joke, got Bumblebee trending on Twitter.
Are
Really?
you serious? I
I'm
actually
not
didn't know that.
joking. This.
This
Got it
of all
trending.
episodes.
Really? Okay.
Like I would have thought like episode 1 or 2 would have got Bumblebee trending, but
I
didn't
know,
think it
but
would.
it's
They
like,
both did.
Oh, they did as well. Okay, then at least they're consistent.
Yeah.
Even still, that's
I'm just
ridiculous.
thinking like, okay, this little exchange, which is adorable,
yeah.
got it on trending. What the hell is gonna happen when these two kiss?
Oh, Twitter will destroy itself like it did when
Explode.
Steve was announced for Smash Brothers.
Yeah, the internet's just gonna explode.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, I shall pass the mic over to you now. Because I imagine you want to talk about this a little bit.
I just want to point out how just look, they make Blake and Yang so cute in this volume in particular. Like, look, they are like throughout the series, but like this volume, they've like amped it up,
Yeah.
and these two better kiss by the end of this volume.
Dude, at this
rate,
point,
come on.
I'd be shocked if they didn't.
We've got 5 weeks to go until the end of the volume. Which week will be the B kiss?
No joke. Every single
probably-
Saturday, I'm at work before I can come home and watch the episode, and I'm just thinking to myself, is today gonna be the day?
You know what? I'm gonna throw it out. Episode 7. That's my
Yeah,
bet.
I'm gonna say the same thing.
Lucky 7. All right.
Well, because RWBY are hyping 7 up to high heaven, so...
Also, I feel like next episode is going to be a flashback episode. Like, it kind of has to be.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but like...
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
although I also imagine
go...
episode 7 is going to be a heart-wrenching one, because I remember...
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking they're hyping that one up.
That's probably it. I remember one of them was like, yeah, I'm really excited for episode 7, and another one was doing the math. Oh, it's like, checks math. Oh, gosh, why? I'm like, oh, well, great. I think someone even quote tweeted that, like, let us breathe, damn it. So it's like...
Give us time to process.
No, you shall have no time.
You know what? There's there's actually an image I sent to Max. I'm gonna send it to you guys while we're doing this. But
well, while you're doing that, I'm just gonna point out that Weiss is disgusted. It's like, just get me away from nose hair. That's all I care about.
It is a bit weird how all 3 of them go.
Yeah, at least Little sticks around. It's like, I'll go with you, RWBY.
Little's the true Hobie.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I get why for narrative reasons as well. It's more impactful.
Yeah, sure.
For what's coming up next, but
I also do. I mean, I kind of.
Sorry, I just saw it.
Look, is that wrong?
No, it's not.
Wrong, but that's what makes it funny.
No, that's not wrong at all. So, part of me does question this a little bit, because obviously Team RWBY, Weiss, Blake, and Yang, they know that RWBY's not exactly in the best mindset right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe one of them should have stayed.
Yeah, so I'm questioning, like, why didn't at least one of them stay behind? Like, just to make sure. It's like I get that they would trust RWBY to yeah, you have an objective, go do the objective. You got this, right? But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, emotional support. I know she has Little, but still.
I feel like this is kind of gonna build up to the RWBY breakdown moment, and they're all gonna realize oh,
absolutely,
we kept on expecting RWBY to be fine. We thought RWBY was beacon of hope, would never waver, and we thought she'd be fine.
I've seen people bring this up as well. It's just if sometimes a bit of space can help.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
You don't want to just constantly be asking the person, hey, you good? You good? You good? And
yeah, that's why
sometimes it can get a bit too much.
Yeah, that's why Yang has kind of been backing off a little bit. There was that moment in the first chapter when RWBY's waking up after fainting after learning that Penny died. Yang does ask hey, RWBY, you okay? And when RWBY doesn't answer, she just kind of drops it. So
yeah, I don't think there's an issue with this if it gets brought up later. I know that it's super bad or anything. I'm not saying this
no. It's just I'm just curious. It's did all three of them have to back off? Because they all I mentioned that RWBY has Little, but they all decided to go with Curious before Little offered to stay with RWBY. So I don't know. I feel like at least one of them should have been I'll go with RWBY. I'll take the hit, I guess.
I'll be honest, with a tiny detail that you have to zoom in and really look for, I'm surprised it wasn't Weiss. When they're writing Curious, just really look at how close Blake and Yang are.
Yeah. I also like how
people have pointed out on Twitter and even just zoomed in. It's just
oh, they are tiny.
When you see their backs, it does look
so.
It does look like Yang has an arm around her.
Yeah.
Well.
But also, I like how when Curious walks off the table, they
don't drop
to the ground. They just continue to
he's still
air
walking.
walk.
That's great.
Yeah. he might be very. They might be very sketchy. However, they're also very fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
consider it in that way.
Yeah.
And then
Sketchy,
might
but
steal the cheese.
yeah. And the shopkeeper is very depressed that no one actually bothered to give them anything.
Yeah,
The
basically a
shopkeeper
Korok
kind
from
of reminds
Zelda.
me of I can't remember the species name, but if any of you have played Breath of the Wild, like the
Korok.
people with
Yeah, that's what Mate
that's
was
it.
just mentioning.
Oh, sorry.
Literally just mentioned it as you were saying that. Yeah. Anyway, so Little's like, onward, and then she falls asleep, or they fall asleep.
But
Or
at least
the-
it's not a smash cut this time.
It's not. It's true.
I'd also first
And they're also
genuine
not
smile
acting-
in a while.
They're also not acting as a guide, thank God. So it's like, hey, I'll be your guide.
And Ruby's just looking for a teapot lady.
Yep.
Suddenly, everything goes dark.
Yeah, there's a darkness following Ruby. That's not.
Oh no,
Well,
she's in the Shadow Realm.
Yeah. Everything around her disappears into the darkness. That's not good at all. And all
But
of
she
a
looks
sudden,
over to see a bright light, and there's another penny sword.
surprise! I saw a weird amount of people in the comments be like, "Oh, I thought the sword was lost forever." And I'm like, guys, you do realize that Penny made more than one sword, right?
She made like 6, didn't she?
Something like that. I don't know. I kind of don't want. I'm curious, but I also don't care enough to go find out. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm reminded of that scene. No, thank you.
Like at bare minimum 6.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, there is more than one.
Yeah, and it's blacksmith. We finally meet the blacksmith.
Yeah, I do just want to mention. I saw this brought up in a video. I won't say by who, but they thought this was the lively carpenter that Weiss mentioned in the previous episode. Yeah, carpenters and blacksmiths aren't the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's not who this is.
Although they are welding something. I'm having trouble. It kind of looks like a butterfly. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't
Come-
think that's Herb, do you?
Like being remade.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess maybe. Also, they are voiced by, I hope I'm pronouncing this name right, Kimlantron. So it's the voice of Dragon Ball Z Abridged Chi-Chi.
I thought she sounded familiar.
Yeah, I was getting that too, but I couldn't remember where from.
Yeah, or as I like to refer to her, she is Fidget from Dust and Elysian Tale. More Dust voice actors on a Rooster Teeth property. Oh gosh, this rabbit hole goes even deeper.
Dust, Ruby.
Oh, that's funny. I get it.
Alright, so Ruby looks into the sword and oh my god, there's Penny's face.
Yeah, get used to that. Apparently these weapons are all very reflective with other faces for some reason. So as they're talking, I would say what they're saying, but I don't remember, and I don't have subtitles to. Give me those.
The
Thank
blacksmith
you,
asks
Crunchyroll.
Ruby if she's doing this alone.
Oh yeah, and Ruby's like, yeah, no, my friends just aren't here right now. Which is her way of saying, yes, but technically yes, but actually no, or something along those lines.
Little asks where they are, and the blacksmith asks, "Are you her guide, little one?" And Little responds with, "Yeah, Ruby's my friend, and I want to help her get home, even if I don't know where that is or how to get there."
I wondered.
Little's trying, okay?
I wondered when Little would bring that up. It's like, girl, yeah, you have no idea what you're doing, do you?
Look, Little's just out there doing their best, and they're doing a pretty good job so far, I'd say.
I mean, they're kind of crap at their job of being a trusty guide, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but like emotional support though, like
True.
A+.
True. They're here for emotional support, not practical support.
Yeah. So
Also,
blacksmith.
I'm going to be honest. This blacksmith is freaking creepy.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
it's difficult to see through most shots, but like when they hammer the thing and there's those sparks, you can see like flashes of their faces. One of their eyes looks a little worn, I guess. I
I'm trying to
don't
get
know
the
how
exact
else.
shot.
Oh,
of it
yeah, a little
where we
bit.
see the face.
But yeah, they have like no eyes and their mouth moves still, and I'm like, no, please don't let me look at their face.
It's also maybe like they don't have a distinct face, but they make faces for other people to adopt when they,
Oh, that has some
get weapons.
mad creepy implications. But you're also probably not wrong.
Yeah, it's creepy, but I could see it being a thing.
Yeah. So yeah, the blacksmith says like, you have a large burden on your shoulders, don't you? I'm like, thank you. Someone is bringing this up.
Ruby insists that she can handle it, and the blacksmith
That
says,
is a lie. You cannot handle this. Anyway, sorry.
Well, if you want one of these, take whichever one you like. And the penny sword is now a dagger.
And guess
Surprise,
who's reflected
and it also-
in the dagger?
Yeah, it reflects who we assume is Alex's face.
Perhaps
so-
because Alex made a similar decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she traded a dagger for something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Ruby's like, yeah, but I already have a weapon. Or at least I did. And I'm like, Ruby, you gotta pick something at this point.
And then one catches her eye, which looks like it's part gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have an axe. And I think we all know who that probably belonged to.
Probably.
Well, Ruby seems quite fixated on it for some reason.
Yes.
Almost like maybe she recognizes it from somewhere.
And then, we see a
the
reflection.
reflection.
Of a certain someone.
Yeah. It's summer.
Yep. Which
Yep.
I want to say, I really like that Summer's weapon is an axe. Because it makes sense for the Little Red Riding Hood fairy tale.
Yeah.
Because
The
Little Red was
woodsman,
saved
yeah.
by a woodsman wielding an axe. So I really like that it's an axe and not a scythe.
Yeah, I'm very glad it's not a scythe. I'm getting tired of like Ruby's got a scythe, that's pretty cool. Crow's got a scythe, that's pretty cool. And then Maria had one. I'm like, okay. It's like, we get it.
No,
Scythes
Maria
are cool.
had 2 scythes.
That's true. Maria had 2 scythes. I guess they were more like sickles, but shh.
Yeah, silver-eyed characters with a scythe. That's not...
Do I hear 4?
Apparently you don't, because now we have an axe.
Yeah, we have an axe.
Anyway, so the silver eyes glow, and it turns out this was all an illusion.
Yeah, I have thoughts, though.
Yeah.
So... Does that imply Summer at least was in the Ever After?
Potentially.
I guess.
No, I think it's like the blacksmith offers people to become like who they want to be. I think. Like I think the idea with the blacksmith is like you take a weapon and you can take on like who you want to be. You like find your true self, your purpose, because weapons have always been tied to your character and who you are as a person. So by
and
picking
Ruby
a new
wanting-
picking
And
a
Ruby
new
wanting
weapon,
to be like a mother.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because like to Ruby, her mother is the ideal huntsman, the ideal hero, the person that she wants to be. So that's why her weapon was there and was an option for her to pick.
I will say I did see an interesting fan theory. It's like, what if Ruby takes it and uses it after a while, and after she finds her purpose, basically, like who she is meant to be, it revealed like it was Crescent Rose the whole time.
I would actually really like that.
Yeah, that sounds neat.
Could be a thing. I had another thought of how she get Crescent Rose back. It's more of a simple thing, but
I did too.
We'll
I did too. I'm pretty sure it's the same. But we'll get to that. That comes at the end of the episode. Anyway, so the illusion
everyone else
breaks,
is back,
and yeah, everyone got everything they needed except for Ruby.
God damn it, Ruby! You had one job.
You had one job.
Also, look at Weiss on Curious's head.
she's losing her balance. It's great. Anyways, Weiss is like,
You know,
yo, come on, we got everything else. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
and then guess who finds the teapot lady immediately? Like,
Ruby, you just had to look right.
Yeah, and she did too. That's what's funny. It's like she looked all around her, like to kind of make sure, like, what was that? She didn't see a giant teapot doing that. Okay, it's like I guess she wasn't really paying attention, but like I feel like a giant teapot stands out quite a bit.
I mean, hey, when you go to like the weird blacksmith demi plane place where there's like a lot of fire and, you know, existential crisis, you know, you tend to not notice giant teapot ladies.
Fair enough, I guess.
But yeah, Curious starts looking at everything they have, saying that they need nose hairs, not the yoga kind.
Knocking everything over like a cat do.
Rude.
Very true.
Also, just want to point out, not all cats do that. Mine never did. Yeah, and suddenly fireworks.
It's pretty. And even Yang's like, hey, it's a festival. Cool. And then it turns out it's actually a warning.
Yeah, because they start exploding the word danger, and someone shouts, "It's a Jabberwocker!"
Yeah. And the teapot almost takes away the nose hairs. That's pretty rude.
Which, kudos to Curious for holding on.
Yeah. It's like I already have it. Why aren't you giving it to me? So she says no time later, and I'm like, seriously? The cat's already picked it up. Let him walk away with it. But
well,
no,
they have to give them something in exchange.
Oh, I just noticed. Hold on. I had to skip back for a bit, but I think Curious gets out of the way of the. Yeah, he puts the jar down perfectly fine. I don't know why he doesn't just throw it. Okay.
I mean, he's holding on to it while the teapot lady's still trying to suck it up. And
yeah, but given his position, the worst that's gonna happen is she sucks him up or them up, whatever pronouns. I don't know.
And then
weird.
Ruby made one hell of a choice.
Yeah, she just straight up gives up the little emblem thing that she had on her belt.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, she looks at the three, knowing that, look, they need to get back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Offers up that emblem, saying that it contains a mother's promise.
This was the last thing that Summer gave her before she left for her final mission, didn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. And,
oh boy.
Okay, so Ruby doesn't have Crescent Rose. She just gave up her belt emblem that she's had from the very beginning of the series. I really hope we don't see her give up her cloak and hood.
Yeah.
Because it looks like she's giving up everything that's, you know, Ruby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Crescent Rose wasn't given up.
No, but she does not have
Still
it
lost
currently.
Like losing herself.
Yeah.
And the Forever After.
Yeah.
So anyways,
But now-
they make the parfait. Yay!
At last, by just putting everything in a single jar.
It's also really weird to see the cat like super afraid as well, which we know why, but like
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so they do
Actually-
explain.
Okay, so this is weird. So Blake asks what a Jabberwocker is. Maybe I'm misremembering, but didn't she say in chapter 2?
Yeah, she mentioned that Alex fought one.
Yeah, so I'm like, wait, what? I thought you knew what it was.
Oh, but remember, Alex left out some details.
I know, but it's like she asked that like as if she didn't know what it was at all. It's like she'd never heard of it before. I don't know.
Yeah,
This was just confusing.
I don't know, maybe just the book didn't like elaborate too much on what a Jabberwocker was.
Maybe.
And now that seeing that everyone's so scared of it, what exactly is it?
Yeah.
And we find out if the Jabberwocker eats someone, they don't ascend.
Nope. They basically don't exist anymore. So have fun with that mental nightmare.
yeah, it's essentially they eat souls.
Yeah. And of course, as RWBY is trying to fly away with her friends and the parfait, the Jabberwocker straight up knocks her out of her semblance and forces them to drop the parfait.
Call RWBY out on one bit because, okay, she grabs them in the parfait, zooms off to the left, then the right.
She zooms
And
towards
then
the Jabberwocker, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, no, she goes to one side of it, then the other, and then back around and gets smacked. I'm just like, RWBY, just pick a direction and run.
Yeah. It's like I don't know why you
Maybe-
didn't. I don't know why you're not running away from the thing, but okay, sure. Let's just.
I guess maybe RWBY was like, oh, I think this thing's gonna swing for me in the direction I'm going, so I'm suddenly gonna change directions. Is the thought process? I still think it's weird, but that's like the only kind of justification I can think of. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
but
okay,
it's
I'm going this direction. It's probably gonna try and hit me there, so let me just divert my let me just change course really quick
But-
to try and like.
Yeah, but it's like what I don't understand still is why doesn't she just go away from the Jabberwocker? She's going,
Or, just go in one direction and stick with it.
Or goes up.
or yeah, why doesn't she
Or
just go
that.
up? I don't know. I don't get it. But regardless, they lose the parfait, kind of. And
Yeah, it falls to the floor, but hits the Jabberwocker.
Which is quite
because
funny, actually.
because of course it does. We don't have enough trouble as is.
I have to admit, I was kind of annoyed at that because I was just thinking, okay, we just got it. If it's lost forever,
Yeah, I thought they straight up lost it
ugh.
forever. I was like, okay, come on.
Yeah, that would be a bit weird. It also makes the Jabberwocker grow.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess with
I also do,
I guess knowing what we know later. Actually, now that
Yeah,
I think about it, the Jabberwocker growing is actually kind of weird. Okay, I thought this was obvious. I thought it was like, oh, well, yeah, you got splashed by the parfait. Obviously, it grows.
But it's like, it's not technically. We'll get to this in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that
this,
later.
but for now,
Anyways,
in comes the bird.
Bird, it's a Boyd. Which I'm not gonna lie, for the first time I watched it, I thought that bird was voiced by Miles. It is not.
And we find out that the Curious Cat gave this bird a new purpose.
Yep.
Because they can just do that.
Yeah, which doesn't bring up ethical issues at all. But
No, definitely not. Also, these birds' eyes are glowing. That's kind of weird.
also the cat's just reaction as well the whole time.
Yeah. And then, anyways, in comes horse legs, and then in the night. Yeah, it's the rest of the night. He finally shows himself.
And I just love how excited Blake is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like meeting your favorite character from a
Yeah.
series.
Your childhood hero, basically.
Yeah.
And of course, with this opportunity, they get themselves the parfait, just, eat it off the floor.
Which is gross, but
And-
ethical.
But hey, they're back to normal.
I
Yep.
mean, it's
I
either eat floor dessert or
or stay small.
stuffed, or be stuffed toys. sized forever.
Yeah. But yeah, they're back to normal, and I need to comment on the face that Yang makes because it's wonderful and I love it. She's like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Let's kick some ass.
Yeah, and that's when the music kicks in too. I'm like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah,
Brobuscus-
Weiss traps it with a gravity glyph. The Jabberwocker tries to whack her with its tail. Blake's like, nope. Restrains it, and Yang decides to do some bull riding.
Pretty much. Punching it all the way, because, you know, that's what the Yang do.
And Weiss will, alright, throw you in the air. Blake kicks it back down. Love that.
Yeah.
And then Yang does like the All Might like pose punch.
Yeah.
Sort of combining it with a Bane backbreak,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a way.
And then the Jabberwocker just vanishes into a mass of pink particles.
And Blake is the one who puts it together that this is Neo's doing.
Yup.
Okay.
So
So, as the well-known Neo lovers, because we love talking about Neo so much.
yeah.
But I also want to point out
Let's talk about
just how many Jabberwockers we see.
Yeah.
There's
It's also
two,
because
three,
going
four,
back,
5, 6.
Great.
also going back to the thing that we were mentioning as well.
There
this
was
thing could
7 in
eat-
total.
Yeah, this thing could eat the parfait and gain the effects of it. So these things can physically interact with objects in the same as real beings, which begs the question: are these things essentially like people until they break now?
I guess.
Yes,
Like,
and
could
Which
Could it-
also
could it-
also supports them. Which also supports this one taking a few hits before going out.
Yeah.
Like it's not like how it was before when like you hit
when
Neo's
just one
illu-
hit would shatter
Yeah.
Neo's
Yeah.
illusion.
Yeah.
These things are durable now, and they have the same abilities as the
Yeah, which
original.
could include.
Yeah, and
which
they talk.
Should include.
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if Neo's illusions have been able to talk before, but they can now.
Yeah, they can now.
And
But-
Which has some
the Jabberwocker
really
would still have its whole eat a person and then it can't ascend. thing.
yeah. Which
And
has
she could
some
also clone other people. Like, but though to be fair, if they do have the
Well,
personalities,
that means she could potentially clone semblances too, doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the limitation on this to make it not completely busted is that the clones of other people have the personalities of the original. So like, Neo's probably working with the Jabberwocker or is like controlling it somehow.
yeah.
So that's why they're doing Neo's bidding. But like, if Neo made like a Cinder clone, the Cinder clone would just be like a version of Cinder, so probably wouldn't want to work with Neo.
Yeah.
The worst part is this is a theory.
Yes.
Now,
Because if
now you
it's
know how
not
it's
true,
Now
then
how-
Neo is like God, because technically speaking, Neo could just make like 7 Salems.
now you see
Yeah,
how we're
like-
saying. Now you see how we're saying this. This will be important. This will all be important later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
okay,
I have a fan theory I saw that I want to bring up. But I'll
Go
bring it
for
up. I'll bring it up later. It'll be more important later.
Okay.
So this is a ludicrous buff to
Yeah.
Neo.
Yeah, I'm
Like-
just gonna say now, Neo's kind of overpowered now.
Like, Leo is
Actually,
already like arguably the best fighter that wasn't a maiden.
Which,
Yeah.
I
Which-
still hate.
We still don't like it, but like
No.
if we're going by feats and like writer statements, it is kind of true objectively that she's arguably the best maiden or magical fighter, and now
Yeah.
she has a ridiculously powerful semblance because her her original semblance pre-awakened was powerful, but it wasn't like this powerful.
Yeah.
This also begs the question: does that mean that if she makes clones of herself, can the clones then make more clones?
Yes.
Oh God.
Can she pull a twice from My Hero Academia?
Yes. Anyway, so the knight says, "Hey, by the way, fun fact, run for the hills.
Also mentions there's only supposed to be one Jabberwocker.
Yeah.
And
Given what we know about this guy, I'm curious how he didn't put the pieces together after Blake literally announced that it was Neo, but whatever.
maybe you didn't hear her, but anyway.
I guess it's possible too. But even still, never mind.
Ruby's horrified. Weiss, gets her to get going, and Curious and the bird say we'll hold them off.
What a good person the cat is. Totally trustworthy.
Totally.
When Ruby looks back, Curious is nowhere to be seen.
I know. I wanted to make the joke.
Yeah, and also the bird basically dies.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
It's like I know Ever After doesn't really have the official concept of death, but
like he got eaten by Jabberwockers. We hear it.
yeah.
Dead.
So anyways, this knight
Rest
who
in
totally
peace, Walker.
yeah. So this knight who totally
That's her
doesn't
name, by the
have
way.
any familiar attributes to him that we haven't seen before. Not at all.
Yeah. not at all.
Tells them, hey, there's an opening here. Go. We need to go now. Weiss don't give a crap though, because she's busy being horrified at another place being left in ashes. Fantastic.
And of course, we also see the teapot lady crying
Crying.
over everything.
Yeah.
Because that was probably like her friends that got her and her business destroyed.
Yeah. It's basically like I know they obviously they don't mean it. What am I saying? But it's basically anywhere Team RWBY goes is kind of being left in ashes right now. Like,
With the exception of Haven.
yeah, it's like they saved one place, hooray! But Beacon fell, Atlas fell, and now look where we are. It's like even like going through the different like sections of the Ever After. It's like now like the Red Castle is in shambles. Like the whole army is in shambles, and now here we are with total devastation being caused everywhere. It's like, geez, Death just doesn't Fate just doesn't like these people.
Yeah. And they're probably feeling like survivor's guilt right now because like
Oh,
Weiss
they
says,
have
this
to.
is this is like the 4th time this has happened to them.
Yeah.
To be fair, none of it is, well, like they can't be blamed for any of it. I'm just saying.
No, but
Still, it's gonna mess with you psychologically.
yeah.
Just,
Well, anyways, they're safe.
That's why I be telling them.
Anyways, they're safe now. So at least there's that.
And Blake is fangirling, just like, oh my god, it's Rusted Knight in person!
Yeah.
He's book accurate.
He's
Finally.
book accurate. He's book accurate. Let's go. And then it's revealed to be Jean.
Yes.
Big freaking surprise.
Along with his jackalope, Juniper.
Yeah, because of course it's called that.
I mean, it makes sense. That's his
I know,
teammate.
I know, I understand that, but I've had enough of this. Like
And it's not just Jean.
no, it's Jean with a
Old
beard
Jean.
and yeah, it's Jean with a beard and a
Arm.
warrior's wolf ponytail.
Which he always wanted.
He's always wanted.
Also, this is the topic of the video that should be out, so please go check that again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, grey streaks in his hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Jean's gotten
our man's-
older.
Our man's at least in his 40s.
Maybe 50s.
Probably. Although his sword is still broken.
Yeah.
Which actually took me a rewatch to notice, but yeah.
Yeah, he got new armor, but never got the sword fixed.
Weird that. Also, yeah, I had to check the credits
So
to
many
confirm, but the teapot lady is voiced by Caden.
Oh.
So there's that.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna bring it up when they were first shown off, but I was like, wait, is it? I had to make sure, but the answer is yes. So yeah, we got some weird time shenanigans going on. Oh, by the way, the episode is over. Yeah, we got some weird time shenanigans going on. It's like Team RWBY fall, and they're still, at the same age. Neo falls pretty late, but still, same thing. But apparently Jean falls, and he turns like 50 years old somehow.
So what I'm personally thinking is this could be time shenanigans, but this could also be the remaking thing.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I was thinking because so Jean fell last, but ended up in the Ever After before, long before Team RWBY did.
Yeah.
So he just is the Rusted Knight from the story.
Yeah, that is either that or he replaced or took on the Rusted Knight's role because he was obviously depressed, probably wanted to forget about it or find something to do, so he took on the role. It's one of those two, I feel like. But I think Mates one makes more sense because this could be the opportunity to give us the Alex moments and flashbacks.
Yeah, so next episode has to be a Jean flashback.
Yeah, which could also just be us living through the Girl Who Fell Through the World original edition.
Yeah.
Or at least just seeing it through Jean's perspective.
Yeah.
And I have a little thought because in the opening when we see Alex get up, but there's already footsteps next to her.
Oh yeah,
we went under the assumptions that those were RWBY's.
We were wrong.
Yeah, what if it was Jean's?
That is a lie. It was Jean's.
Yeah. And
here's a thought. What if Jean found Crescent Rose not long after he landed?
That was my theory.
And he's had it this whole time.
Yep, I'm guessing.
That kind of makes me want to see a meme where it's oh no, the Rusted Knight's here to save us with his trusty sword. He just pulls out Crescent Rose and gun form and just shoots the Jabberwocker.
Yeah, I imagine probably next episode we're gonna get oh yeah, by the way, RWBY, here you go.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but now that Jean's here, RWBY's gonna learn something.
Yup.
And the moment we've been dreading since episode 1 is upon us.
Dread it. Run from it. RWBY learning about the truth behind Penny's death arrives all the same.
Indeed.
Yep.
It also brings up some questions as well.
Next episode, it's here.
Yeah. It also brings up the question of what is going to happen to John, because
that's another big question.
For 30 years of shit, we don't know if is he gonna come back, is he going to stay here, is he going to die? It is very open, up in the air. My personal opinion is I think he's going to stay behind, because for those that don't know, obviously the Ever After is based on Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
But there's also another Alice story, I believe called Alice Through the Looking Glass or something like that. And in that, Alice needs to get across a chessboard in order to become a queen, in order to go home. And she's aided by a white knight who helps her get across and go home, but stays behind. And the White Knight is probably the inspiration for the Rusted Knight, so I think John is going to help Team RWBY get back, but I think he's probably going to stay here.
Yeah, that's probably...
I hope not.
No, obviously not.
Yeah, obviously I don't want that to happen. I'm just saying, based on the inspiration for this and the fact that John spent more of his life here than he did back on Remnant, from the looks of things, he might just choose to stay here.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess I'll take that over death.
Same, but at the same time, I'm just thinking about, like, man, just, like, how are you gonna explain that to Ren and Nora? Or,
Yeah,
like,
or his
you know,
family.
yeah, his 7 sisters.
It's also, he kind of got shackled with the Ozpin fate as well.
A little
Because,
bit.
like, Ozpin, John's, like, role in this new world is essentially he fights the Jabberwocker, but because it's a story, he can never truly kill the Jabberwocker.
Yeah.
So like Ozpin, he's kind of fighting an enemy he can't really beat.
Hold
I
on,
mean-
isn't there, like... Okay, I know because the Jabberwocky's a thing in Alice in Wonderland, but isn't there, like, a thing where there's a weapon that can slay it?
I think.
Because maybe that's a thing here.
Maybe.
Yeah, so maybe John's looking for that. But I don't know. I feel like if there was, like, John's a smart and pretty powerful guy. I think if he had, like, 30 plus years,
Yeah.
What if Curious knows about it?
could be.
Oh yeah, like he's gonna tell us.
God, that'd be so weird if, like, next episode is like, oh, you want to kill the Jabberwocker? I know how. I could have told you before, but, you know, I didn't feel like it.
You didn't
Yeah.
ask.
You didn't ask
There you-
if there was a way to kill the Jabberwocker.
There you go.
You just kept on trying to stab it.
I mean, obviously, like, you know, I guess best case scenario is like Jean returns back and we get some like de-aging thing or something as he returns.
I guess, but then
which is
he'd
kind
still
of
be, like, a 50.
it's-
So then he'd be a 50-year-old man in a like 20-year-old body.
yeah, and it's also kind of a cop out in a sense, maybe.
Yeah, but I've also seen people bring up, oh, what if he gets, like, ascended and basically, like, remade into the Jean that he always wanted to be? Wouldn't that just be kind of, like, undoing all the development he's been going through?
Yeah,
There is also the possibility that this John is already ascended, so maybe there's a way to undo it and put him back to normal, potentially.
Maybe.
maybe.
That also brings up why I don't think any of the RWBY goals are going to go through, like, some ascension, because, well, they'd get all their memories erased, so basically,
Yeah.
all their development just might as well throw it
Goodbye.
out the window at that point.
Goodbye.
I think Ruby is going to get, like, very, very close to, though. Because she already was this episode.
Yeah.
And last episode.
And last episode.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this episode answered some questions, but it left a lot more unanswered. So thanks for that. Despite that, though, I'm gonna be honest. This is probably my new favorite episode of the season.
Yeah, I'd say
It is
so
a good
too.
one.
It's like this is like the best way to reveal the rested night. Like everyone knew that it was Jean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
not
no one-
everyone thought that, like, some time shenanigans went on.
Yeah. Also, I kind of thought that the rested night, would, like being Jean, would kind of lead to like some. I don't know, like he like maybe not evil. I guess emo is probably the better. Is probably the better word.
Well, I
like
mean,
some degree of like
he-
brainwashing or something. Like he'd be against Team RWBY is what.
I mean, he could still be. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean true, but it doesn't.
It doesn't seem like he is, though.
No.
Yeah.
So like I thought like if Jean does tell Ruby, it's like, yeah, by the way, I killed Penny, it'd be kind of more of like a condescending way of doing it, because, you know, obviously in that mindscape, why would he care? It's like but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore, so I mean there's that.
Oh god, just think about how, like, Jean's been, like, not only looking for Ruby all this time, but thinking, like, I'm gonna have to tell her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, all that time.
Yeah.
Oh god, what's his reaction gonna be when he finds out that Weiss didn't say it?
Oh man. Um,
I'm not looking forward to Ruby snapping.
no.
Yeah, neither am I. But I feel for like her own mental health, she kind of needs to.
Yeah.
Like,
So what do you guys
I
think?
only
Do you
want
think,
it to happen just so that it happens.
Yeah.
And we can,
So what
like-
do you think? You guys expect Ruby to like straight up deck Jean in the face after learning everything? I do.
I wouldn't put it past her.
No, I wouldn't
Because-
either.
Grief can do a lot of things to a person.
I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be like she decks him in the face and then he just like takes it.
Oh no, I'm 100% expecting Jean to take it, but yeah, I expect Ruby to get physical with Jean.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she'll get physical with Weiss for, kind of keeping this from her. I do think she'll get loud and angry. Very, very, very angry.
I could honestly see Ruby like splitting from the group and just like going off on her
Or
own.
at the very least, just not talking to them.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? That could tie into Blake taking over as acting leader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could also tie into like the what if you could shed Ruby Rose like a coat?
Yeah. So I saw this interesting. Going back to what I was saying earlier about this fan theory. Now I'll say right off the bat, I don't believe it personally, but I can see where a basis could be made for it, and I wouldn't be terribly surprised. What if Ruby, as we see here at the end of the episode, is another Neo illusion?
Yeah, I've seen that theory too.
It was a oh god.
Like when Weiss goes to like pick up Ruby, it's like, hey, by the way, we need to go now. What if that's not Ruby? What if that is an illusion? What if that is an illusion that Neo set up while she took Ruby and booked it somewhere else?
Would be very convenient that, she already knew that Ruby gave up her emblem.
Yeah, that's part of why I don't buy it.
Although I guess you could say maybe the teapot lady was an illusion too.
I mean, maybe.
But why would Neo make an illusion?
Wait.
Oh, but then the cat's an illusion too. When he told Ruby to like, by the way, we need to get behind cover because you can't fight for crap right now.
Oh yeah, so like the cat could have been an illusion, lured the real Ruby away, and then left behind fake Ruby.
Yeah.
Wait.
Because we also we don't see Little at all.
Oh, that's right.
Also, people have pointed out that the table that the teapot lady has was the same table that Neo has in the opening.
Oh, is
What's
it?
Neo holding in the opening?
A T.
Oh shoot. Now I did see someone argue it's like, oh, also Ruby doesn't speak at all after the at this point, and I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's shown that the illusions can speak, so I mean, unless this is Neo, like straight up, but
Yeah. To be
but I
fair, her
don't.
upgrade could maybe include that when she turns into someone, she can use their voice.
I mean, maybe, but I feel like.
Plus, to be fair, I feel like if it was Neo, she would have just shanked Weiss in the back.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Also, she probably wouldn't have looked back at that. This is part of why I don't buy it. It's like Ruby looks back at the destruction caused and has like while that
A somber moment, yeah.
yeah while Hawker is dying basically.
Though
Oh
I
yeah, Neo
suppose-
would have smiled.
Yeah.
Though I suppose at the same time you could argue that these clones seem to have the memories of the people they turn into.
The memories,
So it's
sure,
like
but not
maybe-
the emotions.
Yeah, but like theoretically, like until the Ruby clone is told to like. Do
Oh, I see
something
what
under
you're
Neo's
saying.
Orders, it would just act as Ruby normally would, you know?
Yeah. But it's that plus the lack of an emblem. That's kind of making me think like, yeah, it's I don't. Personally, I don't buy it. Personally, I still
Yeah.
think this.
Neither do I, but I think there is like enough evidence to say like, yeah, I could see it happening.
Yeah, it's like I
the
still think this.
justification for
I
Ruby
still
looking
think
back.
this Ruby is the real deal.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case because, like, but the girl's been through enough, okay?
Yeah. Plus I would question Neo's plan in that regards. Like if you're gonna because the argument's Neo puts in an illusion of RWBY and takes the real RWBY away as a captive or something, but it's that's not what Neo
Why
wants.
bother with the illusion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not just shank RWBY? Why not just shank RWBY and be done with it?
Well, maybe it's oh, I'll take RWBY off alone. I'll kill RWBY, and then once I've done that, I'll just have the clone be haha, I have killed RWBY Rose.
Okay, but it's taking this long though. They've already booked it. They've already screwed off.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying
Yeah, at that point, Neo would just be milking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
isn't what she's all about.
And
Neo's not the kind of person to milk it. She when she was going after Cinder, thinking that she was responsible. She was out for blood. This is the first time we've seen that. This was the first time that anyone's seen her in I don't know how long, and she didn't really have much resolve for drawing it out against Cinder. She wanted Cinder dead. So. Yeah, I
don't think this is the case, but I'm just saying,
Yeah. So, at that point, I don't know why she would bother with the illusion, at least for that long.
I also wouldn't like it if that was the case, because then the RWBY that hears John say, I killed Penny, would be a clone, and not, the real RWBY.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, let's not go through that twice.
Yeah.
No.
It's an interesting theory, but I don't think it's happened.
Plus, this has happened before. It's every time someone's is that Neo? No, that's not Neo. I remember when
Chapters Volume people are still gonna be oh, it's Volume 10. Is that person Neo?
Yeah, I remember during Volume 6 there was a.
Oh god, let's not have Neo become the new Doombots.
I remember during Volume 6, you guys remember those two random Atlas soldiers when the Leviathan was showing up?
Yeah.
Yeah, people thought that one of them was Neo, and I'm are you serious? And it wasn't. Big freaking surprise, but yeah. I think I remember also seeing people say Ren was Neo at one point. I'm okay, y'all are grasping. But
it is also a bit weird that Neo is sending these Jabberwockers. It doesn't seem like they're looking for RWBY unless she's just you know what, go cause destruction.
Yeah. Although they could be a distraction. Go cause destruction, I'll go after RWBY.
Yeah, I'll just start looking for RWBY, I guess.
But yeah, again, it's just one of those things where it's if that was the case, then why leave the illusion up for that long? It's at that point they've already screwed off somewhere else. They're already alone, basically. So if this RWBY is an illusion and Neo has the real one, why doesn't she just kill her? She's defenseless. It's not like RWBY's gonna put up a lot of a fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know she's gotten better with hand-to-hand combat, but
Neo we're talking about.
But mediocre versus garbage is still it's an improvement, but it's not great.
Yeah.
And again, it's Neo we're talking about. So RWBY didn't really stand much of a chance against Neo with Crescent Rose. Without it, nah. So no, if this RWBY was an illusion, it'd probably fade away by now.
Probably.
So I don't buy it, but it's interesting. If we see Little again, if we see Little in that hood, I'm throwing this theory out the window at that point.
Oh yeah.
It's I could probably see the argument for being made for Neo to see, because she does give up the emblem while the Jabberwockers are attacking. So, or at least while the singular Jabberwocker is attacking. So I could see the argument being made that maybe Neo saw that and was oh, okay. But she'd have no way of seeing Little. So if we see little in that hood, I'm throwing this theory out the window. But yeah. So that was
I
an
also have
episode.
something Neo related I want to talk about.
Oh boy, please, by all means.
Okay, so this kind of just solidifies that I don't think Neo's turning good.
Oh no. No, I never believed that for a second. But
Yeah, nor did I. Like,
Yeah, I don't think any of
Okay.
us did.
one, basically she's just burning the world at this point.
yeah.
Which, you know, she's always been down for. And
Yeah.
Look, when you have a villain and want to redeem them, you also got to think, would they want to be redeemed?
Exactly.
I don't think Neo really wants to.
Nope, she just wants RWBY dead. After that, she's fulfilled her purpose in life, basically.
And, okay, going back to the whole semblance buff thing, and how it makes her overpowered, how, like, previously just one hit would shatter the illusion, now it takes a superpowered, like, team-up attack.
Something that
For
would
just
actually,
one.
someone that would actually kill the illusion
A person.
that the person that is an illusion of. So, like, if that was the
So
real
this-
Jabberwocker that Weiss, Blake, and Yang were fighting, I imagine it would take that. I imagine it would take that much to actually kill it.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, we
And-
need to remember that since it has all the abilities, if Neo makes clones of people, they're gonna have aura, they're gonna have semblances. They also get their like clothing and gear as well because Neo's clones had the umbrellas along with original Neo.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so I think this makes Neo too overpowered to turn good, like, in any sense. Because if, yeah, she becomes a good guy and fights Salem along with them, well, then that's just so broken.
yeah, because it's like, okay, Salem, let me make 7 Salems to fight you.
Or, so the Jabberwockers eat beings in the Ever After and they don't reincarnate.
Right.
How would that transfer to someone who's a morsel?
Oh, that's a good point,
Oh
actually.
shoot.
So, what if Neo makes a whole bunch of Jabberwocker clones, they just kill Salem and end her permanently? I would be livid if
Yeah,
that's how
please n-
Salem was
Because
ended.
that's like the Neo Mary Sue, like Neo saves the day kind of like fanfic
Yeah.
stuff you expect. But
Yeah, it would-
actually, here's an interesting.
It
thought,
would just
though.
be like, then what was the point of Team RWBY
Yeah, exactly.
if Neo is the one who ultimately saves the world?
When she has like no reason to. But speaking of Neo, though, do you think we're getting Torchwick back with this?
Ooh.
Through this, probably.
Probably. Oh, this
Because
does
like
make
if
me.
Neo knows that she can make clones that are like exactly like the originals down to their personalities, I don't think there's any reason why she wouldn't want to use that to get Torchwick back.
Yeah. Yep, this also makes me wonder what happened to the real Jabberwocker. I guess Neo just killed it.
Maybe?
In which case, fuck off.
Though my thing with that is, does that mean that Neo has like perfect control over these clones, or do they have the personalities of the original and just do what the original would do? Because like if it's the former, where she can make a clone of someone, has their personalities, but she can still tell it what to do, then she just wins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because then it's like, okay, hi Team RWBY and John, meet Cinders times 7, all of which obey my commands. So, and it's like, they're powerful enough to the point where, like, you know if Neo loses, people are gonna be like, oh, well, you know, Neo lost because plot armor. Because, like,
Yeah.
at the point where...
Some
at the point
Deus
where
Ex
you can
Machina
literally-
BS.
Yeah, because at the point
Unless-
where you could make 7 clones of, like, demigods, including yourself, and you yourself are, like, a top-tier fighter in the verse.
what if Team RWBY semblances evolve too?
Oh, they could.
I don't think it could, but it would need to be something equally as powerful. Which, you know, your idea of like being able to make clones of other people, yeah, that would be very powerful.
That would also be a good match against Neo's.
But then that would be kind of the problem with like Neo semblance, where it's like at that point Blake's kind of too OP. If Blake could just be like, clone of all.
No, in my idea, it's just one at a time.
Okay.
And it has to be someone that she's made a connection with. So, like, for example, if she decided, I'll make a Torchwick clone just to fight you, because fuck you, bitch. She never made a connection with Torchwick, so that wouldn't really work.
Yeah.
Also, that's not really in line with Blake's character.
That'd be so savage of Blake, though. I'd kind of want to see it as, like, a comic.
I would respect the hell out of that.
Yeah.
But Max had this idea of just like, well, one, Weiss could make a summon things even faster, fuse with them, or even just cast those fusions onto a teammate. Like, imagine decking Yang out in the Armagigas armor.
I imagine her semblance evolution is probably going to be just the same as Winter's, where like, you know, now she can make more of them instead of just one.
Oh yeah, that too.
Because that's always been Weiss's problem compared to Winter. Like, Winter has been shown to summon more than once. Weiss never had.
Yeah. But to be fair, like, Weiss giving everyone, like, Armagigas armor would be pretty cool.
Oh,
wings.
Definitely.
Or why not both? Winged Armagigas.
Ooh.
There you go.
That's cool.
But, like, at the same time, it's like, considering how powerful this semblance is, I don't even know if that would be enough to justify it.
I also saw an idea for rubies.
And what would that be?
So this kind of plays off the explanation of a semblance from Volume 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what if she could, like, phase through stuff?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, imagine, like, evil, like, Ruby just, like, fucking Mortal Kombat fatalities. Like, goes through someone, materializes.
Oh, gosh.
And just, like, rips their heart out or something?
Yeah, like, reverse flashes. Like,
That's not in Ruby's character, but she totally could if she really wanted to.
Yeah.
But,
it'll be like,
you know, that could be, like,
It'll be like smoke in Mortal Kombat. Just like, turn into smoke, phase through someone, and all of a sudden they just fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could basically just do
really
that.
Hope it's the other option where it's like Neo can make clones of people, but they have their own personalities and will do what that person would do normally. So then that way, there's like the only options she would have would be like Torchwick herself and Jabberwockers.
And even then, I think
it's still powerful, but like it's not like 7 Cinders powerful.
Yeah, plus, look, I hate the idea of, like, the Jabberwocker itself being dead, because it's just, like, this thing is just super intimidating. Neo just shows up and murders it right away.
Yeah, super intimidating. Neo murders it and then turns it into a summon.
Right.
Like, imagine how it would have been last volume if, like, the Hound showed up.
And Neo just murders it immediately.
Yeah.
You know, Max brought this up in one of our videos, when it was just, like, talking about Neo's fate. And honestly, after this episode, his idea would be really fitting comeuppance. Oh, all the more. What if her control of the Jabberwocker gets broken and the Jabberwocker eats her?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Torchwick got eaten, she got eaten, and after everything, you know, she's been committing with these things. Yeah.
Yeah, she deserve it.
Karma's fun that way, isn't it?
Karma's a bitch, and so are you.
Yeah. But yeah, I am really hoping we get established, like, what Neo can and cannot do with this, because, like, so far it's vague enough to where it's, like, stupidly overpowered, if you think about what she could do with it.
By the way, can I just say, don't take that line super seriously, please. The Karma's a bitch, and so are you. thing.
Oh yeah,
Like, it's me trying to make the funny.
yeah. We're making the funnies.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something else I was gonna bring up. What was it? Oh yeah. Yeah. With all these new powers that Neo's getting, there's no way this isn't. There's no way this isn't Neo's last volume, right? It's like they're building all this up. Like they're with all this being built up. It's like they have to have. There's got to be something that like tips the scale, and then that's what causes Neo's ultimate fate. So like
I honestly think it probably
point,
will be mates like the Jabberwocker either like escapes from Neo's control and eats.
yeah.
Her.
That was Max's idea.
Oh, sorry, Max's idea. So credit to Max. I think that would kind of make the most sense. Another idea would maybe be Neo getting ascended by the cat.
Mm.
I think I've thought about that, and maybe she just reverts back to trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well,
Like Trivia,
I don't know. I
Trivia
feel
was like a normal person, but like just had issues because her parents were like forcing her to be something she didn't want to be, and like locked her in their attic, for like most of her life.
Also, when I say it, I kind of feel like that would just be a way of just like, okay, so Neo's gone, but not really, because she's popular.
yeah.
Yeah.
It kills her, except kinda, not really. It's like she's dead, kinda, sorta, not really, kind of thing.
I mean, honestly, I think it's worse than death for Neo.
I mean, yeah, you're probably right.
Because like Neo's whole thing, for like went from like the books and everything, it was like she wanted to like live her own life freely. Where in this instance, she would have like her life taken away from her, forced to live as someone she didn't want to be.
Yeah.
So it's kind of worse than death if you look at it like that.
Honestly, at that point, yeah, being eaten by the Jabberwocker would just be a kindness.
Yeah, probably.
Although at the same time, in theory, that also means she wouldn't be able to go into the afterlife and, you know, be back with Torchwick.
Oh, that's just cruel.
Oh no, you wanna see cruel?
Oh yes, please.
Well, okay, this is by AG Nonsearch. Okay, so she did like a doodle of like redhead heaven.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Pura seeing Jean with like, and she's got like hearts for eyes saying daddy. And Penny's just there next to her, just being like, I don't sense a biological connection.
Okay.
Yeah, then she decided to go ahead and make this Redhead Hell.
Wow.
Adam's Hell is having like audio book versions of Bumblebee fanfic read to him.
And he's just
would
like,
include- which would include
I
Bee
can't
Family
take this
in this case.
anymore.
Which would include B family in this instance.
Yeah, and he's just being told like, and Blake's sitting on a hospital bed holding baby Yin. He's just like, enough!
What did I do to deserve this? Oh wait, I was a pretty terrible person.
And compared to that, Torch would go off easy.
Oh yeah. Plus, also Neo getting eaten by the Jabberwocker would kind of be poetic because Torchwick got eaten by the Nevermore.
Oh wait, you know what? By this logic, she wouldn't even be able to reunite with Torchwick anyway, because it's redhead hell.
Yeah.
Neo ain't a redhead. Get out of here.
Neo changes her hair color the moment.
I was about to say, like, what you guys don't know, what we don't know is that Trivia's natural hair color is red, and the
No, it's brown.
Oh, is it? Lame. That ruins my joke.
Yeah. It would be funny if it was red though.
Naturally, Trivia had solid brown hair, so she dyed like half of it pink.
Because it also goes with her heterochromia, I believe is the...
Yeah, which is one of the reasons that her parents were, well, more specifically her dad, was ashamed of her.
Mm.
What is it with this universe and terrible dads?
Yeah.
Oh, not only that, but because she was mute.
Oh, great. You know, let's... Like, not only are we making fun of her physical appearance, but we're also making fun of her disability. Great.
I also want to point out, so...
Locked her in the attic as well.
Yeah.
So, their last name... So, their family name is Vanille.
Yeah.
Her mother's name was, Carmeline. So, Caramel.
Caramel Villana.
Wow.
Vanilla.
Yep. And her dad was named Jimmy. Like, Jimmy's. Ice cream toppings.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is Neo's long lost brother. Chocolate.
No, he's just Choco, and his whole gimmick is he's always late.
So yeah, that's the episode.
At this point, we're just rambling.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
pretty much.
But either way, great episode.
We're at the halfway point, ladies, gentlemen, and others. You know, like I always say, pray for your favorite characters. Especially if your favorite character is Jean, because oh boy.
Thing is, okay, Brobuscus, yours isn't in this volume.
No, but he's probably going through depression right now.
I know, but we'll get to that maybe next volume or the end of this one. Who knows?
Yeah, both of
And-
Brobuscus and my favorite characters aren't in this volume. Like both Crow and Oscar are not here.
Oh, so yours has changed from Ironwood.
Yeah, Ironwood was my favorite character in Volume 7, and then Volume 8 happened, and then no longer because of, you know, the type of person he changed into.
Fair. So the only one of us who's really praying for our favorite character right now is me. Although,
Are you really gonna pray that hard? Blake will be fine.
I know, but at the moment I'm just happy that she's living every nerd's fantasy.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, she's just so excited to, like, meet characters from a story she likes.
Mm.
Yeah, she's the only one of our
Although-
favorite characters that actually has some semblance of happiness right now. I know she's in a desperate attempt to get home, but like at the very least, if she's gonna be stuck here, at least she's stuck with living a fantasy.
It's also kind of funny as well, because this is like the situation where you realize one of your friends is like, it's like going to be playing the role of one of your like
Your childhood heroes.
favorite characters. It's like if your like friend was like, "Hey, I'm going to be playing Spider-Man."
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's someone out there who I know can relate in a not so good way. So apparently Robert Downey Jr., like, while he was in high school, like, was kind of a prick to some kid who really loved Iron Man.
Wow. Oops.
Yeah.
I can just imagine that guy watching Endgame like served you right.
While everyone else in the theater is crying.
Everyone else is like really upset, and then the one guy's like, "Yeah, fuck Robert Downey Jr."
Everyone just boos him out. And he's just like, worth it. Oh, by the way, you know what? I have
Go
a
ahead
bad
and
joke.
boo. I've seen what makes you cheer.
I have a bad joke getting back into RWBY.
Oh boy.
I said Blake is like living every nerd's fantasy. Hopefully by the end of this volume, she'll be living a lot of RWBY fans' fantasies and getting hitched with Yang.
Yeah.
That is a bad joke.
I said a lot, not all.
Well, all right, we're rambling. We should stop. Also, I need to get my voice back. So yeah,
I'm gonna
thanks.
have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you're looking forward to the next one. And we'll see you then. Take care.
Bye.
Go read my fanfic.